The Disruptor of Springfield. Xylos didn't waste a second. He snapped his fingers, and a sleek, black porcelain throne appeared. "Behold," Xylos proclaimed, his voice echoing like a digital recording. "The X-Toilet. It doesn't just take your waste. It analyzes your soul, or at least your glucose levels, and posts the data directly to the global feed for everyone to judge." Bud leaned in, peering into the bowl. "Does it flush?" he asked. Xylos chuckled, his red eyes flashing. "Every time it posts a successful reading, it deposits a fraction of a Dogecoin into your digital wallet. You're literally turning your plumbing into a side hustle." Before Bud could ask about the exchange rate, Xylos unveiled a chrome toaster. It looked less like a kitchen appliance and more like a piece of military hardware. "The Tesla toaster," Xylos announced. He dropped a slice of sourdough into the slot. Suddenly, with a roar like a jet engine, the bread didn't pop up. It ignited. A streak of fire shot out of the toaster, carrying the bread high into the clouds until it was nothing but a twinkling star. "It ensures your breakfast achieves escape velocity," Xylos said, checking a tablet. "That toast is currently passing the moon." Bud watched the sky, his neck craning back until he nearly toppled over. The local barkeep, Sip, wandered out of his tavern to see what the racket was about. Xylos greeted him by pulling a sleek, matte black device from his belt. "Care for a snack, barkeep?" Without waiting for an answer, Xylos pulled the trigger. A gout of flame erupted, but instead of destruction, hundreds of fluffy white vegan marshmallows rained down upon Sip. They were perfectly toasted and smelled faintly of lavender and lithium. Sip caught one in his mouth, looking more annoyed than impressed. "I asked for a beer, not a campfire," Sip grumbled, brushing sticky sugar off his apron. "The world is too slow," Xylos declared, grabbing Bud by the shoulder. "Your thoughts are trapped inside your skull. We need to release them." He pulled out a pair of glowing, pulsing earbuds. Neuralink buds. They translate your subconscious rants into high-engagement, passive-aggressive tweets in real time. He jammed them into Bud's ears before the man could protest. Bud's eyes glazed over for a moment as the device hummed. "Wait," Bud said. "I was just thinking about how Sip's floor is always sticky." Instantly, a digital ping echoed through the square. Bud felt a strange itch in his brain. He reached for his emergency donut, a pink frosted one with extra sprinkles, and noticed a small wire protruding from the dough. Without thinking, he began to scream into the pastry. "Why is everything so expensive? Why does the sun hurt my eyes?" The donut pulsed with a red light, synchronized with the earbuds. Every shout was being converted into data, sent upward to a satellite that bore Xylos' face. Bud didn't care about the tech. He just felt like the donut was finally listening to him. The town square began to fill with the sounds of notification pings. Sip looked at his phone and turned redder than Xylos' eyes. "Hey, Bud, did you just post that my tavern smells like wet cardboard and broken dreams?" Bud blinked, the earbuds glowing brighter. "I didn't say it, I just thought it." The screen on the town hall began scrolling through thousands of similar messages from every resident who had sampled the tech. The social fabric of the town was unraveling in a torrent of digital pettiness. The chaos escalated when a low rumble shook the ground. High above, a massive rocket shaped like a giant letter X began its descent. It wasn't landing at the airport. It was aiming for the most prominent landmark on the street. With a deafening crash of splintering wood and shattered glass, the rocket plummeted through the roof of Sip's tavern. Xylos checked his watch and nodded. 3 minutes ahead of schedule. Efficiency is my middle name. Sip stared at the wreckage of his business, his jaw dropping so low it hit his chest. Suddenly, the town was a sea of orange and red. Fires broke out as the Tesla toasters across the city began launching bread into power lines. People ran through the streets, screaming into their donuts while their phones buzzed incessantly with health alerts from their toilets. "Springfield is finally disrupted," Xylos shouted over the roar of the flames, his red eyes beaming like twin searchlights. Bud ran past him, his white shirt singed, still clutching his Neuralink-equipped donut like a life preserver. Sip followed close behind, wielding a mop as if it could stop the technological tide. As the sun set over the smoldering ruins of the town, Xylos patted Bud on the back. "A successful launch, wouldn't you say?" He reached into his pocket and pulled out a heavy, gold-colored coin with the face of a Shiba Inu on it. "For your help in testing the ecosystem." Bud took the coin and bit it. It wasn't chocolate. It wasn't even real gold. "Can I buy a new house with this?" Bud asked hopefully. Xylos laughed, boarding his silver pod. "In 10 years, you can buy a colony on Mars. For now, maybe a very small coffee." The pod blasted off, leaving Bud alone in the wreckage of his neighborhood, holding a coin that was worth less than the donut he had just screamed into.